What's going on, y'all? So forgive me, when I made this video that you guys are about to see, I didn't think it was gonna come out as long as it did. So again, forgive me for that. If you choose to watch it all the way through, cool. Make sure you hit the like button. If you don't watch it all the way through, that's cool as well. Also hit that like button. Leave your comments. If you have any additional questions or try to contact, my email is always in the description. So yeah, enjoy the video. What's going on, y'all? How's everybody been doing? So I know y'all haven't seen a video from me in a while. No reason in particular. I've just been taking a break, focusing on other things. So the title is not clickbait. It is factual. I did leave. Most of y'all that talk to me on a regular basis that know me outside of YouTube already know this. You already know where I'm at. So if you do know where I am, don't spill it in the comments. I'll reveal that maybe in my next video or the video after the upcoming. But if you guys remember, 7 months ago, on my community tab, I made a poll where I said, if I was to go, where do y'all think I would go? And the choices were Estes, Southeast, Estes, and Old Dominion. So I'm at one of those carriers currently, and I'm still doing line haul at this other carrier. So let's talk about why I left AAA Cooper. So first and foremost reason, I've been trying to leave them, and to be completely honest with you guys, I've been trying to leave them for over 2 years. I've been trying to leave for a long time. Let's talk about the pay. Let's talk about that first. My checks were good. You know, those of y'all that know and have been following the channel know I don't disclose how much I make weekly or annual. I just don't believe in sharing that with you guys. I feel like on the line haul side, I've never done city, so I can't really speak on the hourly rate. But for the line haul, I felt like it wasn't competitive compared to some of the competitors, you know. It's not competitive. We did get raises, but not as frequent, you know, as we should. You know, where I'm at now, I'm making 6 cents more than what I was making before. You know, the crazy part is, when I ran teams, I'm basically making, CPM wise, I'm making what I made as a team driver at Cooper as a solo. I'm gonna say that again. Where I'm at now, I'm a solo driver making the same CPM as I was as a team driver. So that says a lot, you know. So they weren't competitive. I felt like we were being cheated out of some of our pay. And what I mean by that is we were not getting paid for drop and hook. As a line haul driver, there's no reason why a company shouldn't pay drop and hook. Hell, even mega carriers. You got mega carriers out here paying drop and hook. So there's no reason why Cooper couldn't give us drop and hook. There's no reason for it. They don't pay overtime, which, you know, doesn't bother me since I'm not a city driver. I care less about that. But no overtime, no delay pay. You know, you could be at your midpoint for hours. You could be at the break bulk or just a regular terminal for hours. You wouldn't get not a cent for that. You know, where I'm at now, we get drop and hook pay, we get delay pay, you know, all these different pays. And I'll talk more about, you know, this carrier that I'm at now in an upcoming video. We were getting cheated out of miles. Let's talk about the Valdosta run. So in Tampa, they have a midpoint where they meet Atlanta drivers. You know, they meet up at exit 2, Flying J. So up there, you'll meet North Atlanta, South Atlanta, West Atlanta. Now, me currently, I run where I'm at now. I run out of one of the Atlanta terminals. I run out of a West Atlanta terminal at my carrier that I'm at now. So I know the area, I know distance, I know miles, and I know those miles that Cooper is giving, they're not even, they're not equal. For example, for Cooper, their South Atlanta terminal is in Ellenwood off the 675. Their North Atlanta is in Norcross. The West Atlanta is, if I'm not mistaken, it's like a Westgate Parkway, around that area. Now, if you type in the distance between those terminals in Valdosta, they're not equal. You know, this example is going to validate my point. You see how from Norcross to Lake Park, 257 miles. Now look at the other picture. Tampa to Lake Park, 212 miles. Now explain to me how that's even. So Tampa was getting the shorter end. So we were getting the shorter end of those miles, you know? Now, the company I'm at now, I know for their Tampa terminal, they meet Atlanta drivers. But they don't all meet at the same spot. You know, they're all spread out, which is how it should be. For example, we'll use Orlando, for example. They too meet Atlanta drivers. They meet their South Atlanta drivers in Valdosta. They meet their North Atlanta drivers in Adel, and then they meet their West Atlanta drivers in Hierro. That's equal. So I don't understand why Cooper couldn't spread those midpoints out for those Atlanta runs, for those Atlanta meets, you know? And I would ask them about that, and they could never give a solid answer on why that is, you know? And it's not fair, you know? And then to make it worse, you know, sometimes they might be running late, but it's not like you could go up further, you know? You would have to sit there and wait, you know? And of course, there is a bit, well, we don't want to cut them out of their miles, but if you think about it, they're already getting the bigger end of the stick compared to us. So that's another thing. Next thing, seniority. That's another reason why I left. It's hard, and at Tampa, it's hard to move up. Not because it's a small terminal. Tampa is a decent size, decent number of doors and employees, but the reason it's hard to move is because of the seniority. You know, most LTL carriers, and y'all know this, they separate it. There's P&D seniority, then there's line haul seniority. At Cooper, it's all one big seniority list. So for those who don't understand what I'm saying, I'll give you an example. So let's just say a city driver has 15 years with the company, and then they decide at the upcoming bid, oh, I want to switch to line haul. That 15-year city driver will bump anybody that has under 15 years. So somebody like me, he could bump me versus at any other LTL carrier, you could have 20, 30 years in the city, but if you want to do line haul, you go to the bottom on the line haul seniority. And that's the problem. You would have drivers trying to jump back and forth, you know, which makes it hard, you know, to move up and to actually get a decent run, which is part of the reason why I stayed, you know, running wild. Reason being is, you know, I like going different places, you know, which kind of works out where I'm at now. I go, you know, different places. So that's that. Another thing is they're inconsistent with the bid process. You know, most LTL carriers, like for example, where I'm at, we rebid every 6 months. So even if you get stuck on a crappy run, you know you only have to commit to it for 6 months. Some LTL carriers, they do every year. Cooper, you just never know. You never know when you're gonna rebid. You never know. So you might get a crappy run like my old team partner did. He was stuck on it, you know? And you would ask, you know, when are we going to rebid? You know, it's been a year. When are we going to rebid? When are we going to rebid? And of course, their favorite answer is, oh, we don't know. You know, so I go up the list. You know, I'm asking, you know, the line haul director, you know, when are we going to rebid? I don't know. Corporate, when are we supposed to rebid? I don't know. So it's like, dang, well, what do y'all know, you know? And another thing, you know, with the runs, they don't rotate at all. So like, let's just say you have a crappy run, like my old team partner. His run would get cut almost every night, like on a nightly basis. Over there, if you get cut, if you're a bid driver, you get cut, you're just cut. You're out of luck. So whether you run 5 days, 4 days, 1 day, or no days, you're out of luck, which is also, you know, why my former partner got on the team truck, because, you know, he got tired of getting canceled every single night, pretty much, not making no money. So that's another reason. They're inconsistent, you know. They lack with, you know, communication on certain things. You know, there's certain phone calls that we have to make that as a driver you shouldn't have to make. Like working there, I felt like I was the driver, the planner, the dispatcher, the manager. It's like, oh, like for example, if the terminal was to get closed, they wouldn't communicate and say, when do we back up? It'd be up to us, I guess, to call and say, hey, are we working tonight? Are we running tonight? So it's like, as a driver, I shouldn't have to call. As a manager, it should be your job to let the drivers know, like, hey, we're going to be reopened tonight, or hey, we're not running tonight, you know? And for my terminal environment, this video, I'm speaking on my terminal. You know, the atmosphere working there is another big reason why I left, you know. Working there, I felt like I was working with a bunch of women. Everybody's gossiping, and everybody's, not everybody, but the vast majority of the line haul drivers there, just nosy in everybody's business, worried about stuff that doesn't directly pertain to them. Like, I'm the type of individual, I don't like drama, I don't like confrontation, you know. I go to work, mind my business, go home, get paid. That's my job. There, you know, you got people pocket watching. You know, so you would have drivers asking me, oh, where you going tonight? Now me, I know how to read people. I know they don't give a damn where I'm going. They're just trying to figure out how many miles I'm getting for that night. And you know, a lot of those old heads, they didn't like the fact that I'm a new driver to the company, getting more miles than them. You know, getting mad at me. And I would have to check some of them and tell them, like, listen, I don't pick where I go. I go wherever they tell me I'm going, I'm going. So whether I'm going 600 miles, 400 miles, 200 miles, or 5 miles, wherever they tell me to go, that's where I'm going. But to them, they're acting like I have a say in where I want to go, you know? It's beyond me. It's a perfect example. One time I ran on a Saturday, called Central. They assigned me a, I think it was like 560-mile run. And the very next day, this guy that has maybe 20, 30 years, he comes at me talking about, oh, you took my weekend run. And I'm just looking at him crazy like, what? He's like, you took my weekend run. I'm like, first of all, I ain't take nothing. I go, wherever they assign me to go is where I go. So you need to take that up with them. What else? So let me first talk about the process. Most of y'all already know this. Cooper was not on my list of places to go. You know, at the time, I knew where I wanted to go. I wanted to go to either FedEx Freight, Saia, Old Dominion, or Southeast. Funny thing is, a week after getting hired on with Cooper, OD ended up calling me, offering me, asking me for an interview, but since I had just started, I ultimately turned it down. But looking back at it, I wish I would have taken that offer and just quit right then and there. But I'm not gonna drag this out, but where I'm at now, I'm happy. You know, the vibe there is so much better, you know, no drama, none of that, you know. You're treated like family, not like a number, you know. It's just good vibes from this place. Would I recommend anybody go to Cooper? Yeah, but just understand fully, you know, what you're getting yourself into. And like I said, your experience might be different, you know, and I went to a lot of different terminals, and the vibes at each terminal was different, you know. But, you know, if I had to rate the company on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give them probably a 6 out of 10. And honestly, like, again, if they would have improved a few things, I would probably still be there today. You know, I probably wouldn't even be looking at another carrier if Cooper would have improved certain things. If they would get rid of that damn dock, having line haul drivers working the dock, I'd probably stay. You know, if they gave us longer runs, you know, I'd be willing to stay. Like, the runs there, it's a joke, you know, it's a complete joke. You know, and no, them being bought by Swift had nothing to do with my decision to leave, because they got bought out 2 years ago, and I still stayed with them another 2 years, even after the buyout, so that had nothing to do with it. Me personally, I didn't see any direct changes when they got bought out. But nonetheless, I'm happy where I'm at. That's all I can say. I'm happy. I can honestly say I'm happy to come to work, you know, where I'm at now. And yeah, but my next video, I'll reveal where I'm at, talk a little more in depth about that company. The company I'm at, there is a YouTuber who I'm sure most of y'all already know. He does content for the carrier he's at, so I guess I'll be the second one. All right, y'all. So if you have any additional questions about, Cooper, even though I'm not there, don't hesitate to ask. I'm still will answer any questions that you might have about them. As I always tell y'all, thank you to all my day one subscribers. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Appreciate all y'all. And as I always tell y'all, y'all take it easy. Y'all stay safe.